I know we can do for pierogies what Paul Newman has done for charities with his Newman's Own brand of salad dressings, juices, and other food products.
You can help make a difference by bringing back Parma Pierogies, a once successful business, $1 at a time. Parma Pierogies was a Northeast Ohio success story. Initially setting out to franchise Polish fast food, we were a successful multi-location restaurant first, with national coverage in Time Magazine, Entrepreneur, and twice featured in Restaurant Hospitality, where the editors named Parma Pierogies the next McDonald's or Olive Garden. Then, by popular demand, we expanded our business, offering 6 varieties of home-style pierogies in nearly every grocer's freezer in the tri-state area. We even outsold our $50 million national competitor in the Northeast Ohio market.
One of those gets special attention from NBC's Mike Betcher.
Like most fairy tales, this one begins in Europe, where once upon a time, a little stuffed pasta called a pierogi was invented. Then one day, a prince, well, a governor, who would be king, actually president, came to her place in Parma, Ohio, and tasted the pierogi. And he liked it.
How'd you like the pierogies? I loved them. They were wonderful.
Aren't they good?
I had the potato pierogies, then I had a blueberry one for dessert, and they were really terrific.
July 1996 marks an historic first. President Clinton actually passes a plate of food to somebody else.
Mary Polduri is one of the 50 faces of hope, Americans who impressed Clinton during his campaign and who are the guest of the president-elect during the inauguration. What was it about you?
I think it's the average American. Parma is probably the average middle-class America.
With the pink flamingos on the lawn.
The pink flamingos and the White Sox, right. But I just represent an average person who has an idea and had to go from the ground up to build a company.
Let's talk about your method of financing the business, since that strikes me as the most unusual part of your story. You had an idea, you didn't have the money to finance it. What did you do?
Well, I didn't have a rich uncle either. I went to the banks, and naturally banks don't loan money to startups. So they referred me on to some venture capital companies and some very wealthy people in Cleveland, and I was flattered on 3 occasions to get an offer. They wanted me to sign a contract to give them 80% ownership plus my firstborn child. I also started to think, well, maybe professionals like doctors, lawyers, accountants would be the type that have a little extra income. And I started looking in the Parma Yellow Pages. Parma is a very ethnic community. There was thousands of listings. I couldn't afford postage on everybody, so I started thinking, well, pierogies, Eastern European. I started circling all the ethnic-sounding last names with the SKIs at the end and the CZs, and it worked.
After a decade of dormancy, the fire that once again set off Mary's entrepreneurial alarm was a phone call from a friend working in children's services.
My friend told me a horrific story about a young boy who was repeatedly sexually abused by his own father. Then, a system loophole put him back into the abusive home, which ultimately led to the boy's death.
Today, with business plan in hand, a plan which was recently awarded as a Council of Smaller Enterprises finalist, with among others Damon John of ABC's Shark Tank judging, Mary is ready to secure and renovate a building and order the costly automation equipment needed. Parma Pierogies have traditional old-world flavor. They're low in fat with no preservatives, the convenient comfort food with good causes behind it. Consumers and grocers want unique locally sourced products.
With your help, we can support worthy causes for children and once again bring back Parma Pierogies, old-fashioned taste to your grocer's freezer, just like Grandma used to make.
Help us rebuild a business which will assist in the betterment of children's lives while preserving the time-honored tradition of making delicious home-style pierogies. The amount we need is high, but will give us the automation to ensure our success. and while sustaining and growing the company, we'll be giving 2/3 to children's charities.
We nearly signed a major bank loan with a large investor. Then at the final hour, he decided he wanted controlling interest in the company, and that was a real deal breaker for me. As much as I was disappointed to lose out on the opportunity to start our company, the light bulb went off. I thought, if we're going to give away 2/3 of our company to an angel investor to make him even richer, why couldn't we as individuals and as a company be angels every day to our children? Won't you please give what you can to help us help kids?